Welcome to the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube channel on my personal page for now for another night of NHL action. Tonight, we come to you from the Scotiabank Saddle Dome in Calgary, where the Calgary Flames host the Tampa Bay Lightning. Welcome into the broadcast, everyone. My name is Jaric Rubel. Glad to have you with me for the first Calgary Flames broadcast of the season from yours truly, as this one sets up as a fascinating clash between a Tampa team that's riding a wave of momentum and a Calgary club determined to play spoiler here on home ice. For Tampa Bay, this road trip has been nothing short of dominant. The Lightning have rolled through Western Canada with authority, stacking up lopsided wins and piling on goals at an impressive rate as they beat the Canucks and the Kraken each 6-2, and then they handled the Edmonton Oilers 5-2 just last night, continuing a stretch that has seen them outscore opponents 17-6 in these last three games. It's a far cry from where the team was at just a short time ago, as Tampa Bay had hit a rough patch post-Olympic play as they dropped 6 of 7 games, but since then, they flipped the switch in a big way. And at the center of it all is one of the most electrifying players in the NHL today. That guy goes by the name Nikita Kucherov, and he has been unstoppable for these Lightning, as the superstars putting together what's been a jaw-dropping stretch of hockey, coming off a 4-point night in Edmonton just yesterday with his first career shorthanded goal, and it was a beauty. Now sits atop the NHL scoring race, as his production on this trip has been remarkable. He's had multiple multi-point performances and had goals coming in bunches from a level of consistency that's turning heads across the entire NHL. Night after night, Cooch continues to drive Tampa Bay's offense, and right now there might not be a more dangerous player in hockey. The Lightning will look to cap off this trip with a perfect 4-0 record, and history suggests they're comfortable in this setting. They've had plenty of success against the Pacific as well this season, as they've gone 12-2 against their Western opponents. But standing in their way tonight is this Calgary team, while sitting near the bottom of the standings, is showing no signs of backing down. Back-to-back games they've had with wins, and they've allowed just one goal in each of those 2 games. It's an impressive victory that they had on Friday over the defending Cup champion Florida Panthers, and it's a group that understands where they are in the standings, but they're still competing hard, still battling, and still looking to make life difficult for the teams that have something on the line. One area of focus for Calgary has been generating offense, particularly on the power play, but last time out against the Panthers, they broke through that with a pair of goals from Morgan Frost and Matt Coronado with the man advantage, a welcome sight for a unit that has had their struggles to convert in recent games. So tonight, it's a red-hot Tampa Bay team looking to finish off a perfect road swing against a Calgary club eager to keep building momentum and play the role of disruptor down the stretch. It's the Lightning and the Flames coming up next. Starting goaltenders and the drop of the puck are just moments away. You're listening to an NHL watch along with Jaric Rubel on my very own YouTube page. Welcome back into Calgary, where we're set for face-off tonight between the Lightning and the Flames. But first, let's take a look at tonight's starting goaltenders. In goal for the Flames, it's Devin Cooley, 8-9-4 on the year for him, and 2.47 goals against average with a .915 save percentage. He'll go up against Jonas Johansson for the Tampa Bay Lightning. He's allowed 8 goals, 5 goals, and 8 goals in his last 3 starts. Overall on the season, 10-9-1, 3.23 goals against average, and an .884 save percentage. Tampa Bay attacking left to right in this first period, and going right to left in this opening frame are the Calgary Flames. My name is Jaric Rubel. Sit back and enjoy this cross-conference matchup as we squeeze the Calgary Flames in to the All-32 broadcast schedule. So off the face-off, Morgan Frost goes up against Yanni Gourde. Gourde wins it for Tampa, and the Bolts control wearing their road white uniforms with their white helmets, blue pants with the lightning strike on each side of the pants, and Calgary in their home red uniforms with the white numbers and the yellow stripes on the bottom of the jersey with the red helmets as well. On the near right wing side, Gourde goes up to the point. Chernak, a shot save made. Rebound. Oh, another save. Point blank by Cooley. Right on top was Gergensons. And Cooley with a strong stop to start this game, as now Coronado's going to clear on the far side for the Flames, as they'll get their first change of the game, as will the Lightning. So the third line for Tampa, Gourde, Gergensons, and Holmberg coming out hot for John Cooper's team, but it comes up empty-handed early on in this one. Now a turnover by McDonough. Kevin Ball had to wait to be onside. It kind of made him lose possession, and the Lightning's Destu will get it back. Straight ahead now's Braden Point over the Calgary line to the near circle. Gonsalves tried the baseball swing at it, but it came back the other way for Calgary to go up the left wing, and now Coleman played it over the logo into the Tampa zone. Backlund poked it through the blue paint. Came now to the near side. Farabee having trouble with it. Puck came back out the center. 2-on-1 developing for the Lightning. Near right wing side, it's Gensel. Goes across. Point got tied up with Kevin Ball, and Ball takes him into the corner boards to the far side, and that puck squirts free to Farabee. Flames now head out the other way. Over the Flame logos, Farabee. Near left wing circles now Brustevich, but he's going to be offsides, and we get our first whistle a minute 26 in to this game tonight. Let's take a look at the home lines for the Calgary Flames in this game. Mikael Backlund on the top line with Blake Coleman and Joel Farabee. Morgan Frost with Gridden and Coronado. Strome between Sharangovich and Olofsson. And then Gross making his NHL debut. Tyson Gross between Klapka and Pospisil. The Sharangovich line on the ice now. It's Strome and Olofsson as they head down to the left here in the Tampa zone. But Darren Radish will fling it back out to center for Tampa, and the Flames will have to reset here in their own end. Having trouble with it was Oli Mata. Tampa's now on the right wing side, back in Hagel. He'll ring it around the goal. Came up to the point. J.J. Moser with it. Played it back behind the Calgary zone to our right. Came up the boards. Will it get out? It will not at the moment, as Radish had a good keep at the right side. But now Sharangovich does force it out the center for Calgary. It touches Sorelli on a bounce, so the offsides whistle goes with 17:55 to go in a scoreless first period. The deep pairings real quick for the Calgary Flames. Kevin Ball with Zach Whitecloud, Oli Mata with Hunter Brustevich, and Joel Hanley with Zane Parekh. Tampa's lines, according as such. Sorelli with Kucherov and Hagel. Point with Gensel and Gonsalves. And then third line, Gourde, Gergensons, Holmberg. Fourth line of Paul, Perry, and Bjorkstrand. That fourth line's on the ice now for Tampa as they're back in their defensive zone. Is down on the far left wing trying to get it out to Corey Perry. He's tied up with Klapka. Klapka played it around the goal to the near side in the Tampa zone. Trying to get at it was Big Adam Klapka, but Lilleberg played it away, and now Tampa gets possession back. Lilleberg paired on D tonight with Destu. The other pairings, McDonough with Chernak and Moser with Radish. Puck between the benches down on the far wing. Klapka at the end of a shift will steer it in for Calgary. It'll be Lilleberg now playing it from behind his own net across to Destu, who'll give it back between the circles in his own zone to Lilleberg as the Bolts are changing and they're waiting up. On the far wing, Lilleberg played it into the skates of Holmberg. He couldn't grab it cleanly. Now the Flames on the counterattack. Near left wing over the Tampa line's Coronado. Dropped it. Now a shot. Gridden soaked up by Johansson as he'll hold that for a whistle. 3:01 gone by here in the opening period. So last night, the Tampa Bay Lightning defeated Edmonton 5-2. Back in Rogers Place, they're now up to 43 wins on the season. Nikita Kucherov, a 4-point game, had his first career shorthanded goal on a breakaway, as he led all players with 2 goals and 2 assists in the game. Cirelli as well had 2 goals in the contest. Hagel with 2 assists. And Vasilevsky, who gets the night off tonight in goal, had 25 saves in the win 24 hours ago. Now the Lightning win a D-zone draw to the right of Johansson, and now it'll be Holmberg flinging it in right onto Cooley, who has to make a save to the far quarter boards. It goes in the Calgary zone. Steered back to center. It was tried to be at least by Gridden. It won't get out. Now down in the far corner, a centering attempt by Gensel couldn't make it through, as it came all the way back down to Johansson in the Tampa zone. And now everyone chases back to grab the puck in the trapezoid. Down to our left, here is Eric Chernak, represented Slovakia in the Olympics, was teammates with current Calgary Flame Martin Pospisil in that tournament. As he flings it up the far left wing boards, Chernak does. Hagel will collect over the Calgary line, looking for an option here from the far left wing circle. Tried to hit Moser in the slot. It deflected to Olofsson, and the newly acquired Calgary Flame will head to center. Over the Lightning line he goes. Played it Sharangovich, far circle. His shot got the glass. To the near side it goes. Olofsson again. Centered it. Sharangovich just missed a snapshot to the far post. Going to be held in at the far point. Brustevich. Touch to Sharangovich. He couldn't hold it in at the blue line. And now the Flames must reset at center as Oli Mata from in front of the penalty boxes will play it back behind the Tampa goal to our left. It rolls up the far wing, came to the point. Brustevich kept it, and a long shot soaked up by Johansson, as he'll take another whistle here. 15:42 remaining in period number 1. So if you're one of the regulars here that are on the channel that tune in, you might know that this is my personal channel, not the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube page. And problem with that channel currently is we just got flagged for the Virginia March Madness basketball game, so apparently you can't live stream for a week after you've been legitimately copyright flagged. So for the next 2 games, I'll have at Colorado and Pittsburgh Tuesday and San Jose St. Louis on Thursday. They'll be right here on this YouTube channel. So face-off won by Tampa down to the left of Johansson, but now tied up on the far wing boards was Gensel. And now Gensel's able to play it around his net on the near side. Gonsalves went up with it. Farabee kept it, though, at the left point for Calgary. Played it back behind the goal in the Tampa zone. McDonough up the far wing with it. Got it across the red line. It won't be icing, says the linesman, so Kevin Ball has to play it, as he'll go around the Flame net with it up the near left wing side. Now the Lightning will rekindle at center as they get possession back. Gensel wrists one in from the logo. Goes to the far corner of the Calgary zone to our right. We're now a bad pass here that came up the wing by Brustevich. Got picked up by Olofsson, as I thought he broke his stick initially, but he's got his cue perfectly in his hand, so it was just a terrible pass. And now he'll try again. Brustevich this way to Ball. Ball now a neutralized to the near wing, trying to hit Klapka. It does stay onside. No, it doesn't now, says the linesman, as offsides is Gross in his first NHL game. And now at 14:44 to go, we'll have a neutral zone face-off. So I mentioned Gross in his first NHL game tonight for Calgary. Tyson Gross from St. Cloud State getting some NHL action here for the first time, as he's wearing number 39 for the red and white, as he loses this upcoming faceoff to Tampa Bay. As now through neutral ice, it'll be the fourth line getting to work. Nick Paul, Corey Perry, and Oliver Bjorkstrand behind the Calgary goal. It's poked ahead by Perek. Scored his first NHL goal on the Ultimate Sports Media airwaves last spring, as he went to L.A. for the Calgary Flames' final game of the regular season, as he and Sam Morton scored their first career NHL goals for the Flames in that game. First time calling them since that game, so it only took me 11 months to get back to it. To the near corner in the Tampa zone. A shot by Mata went awkwardly off the side of the net. Now it rolls up that near side boards. Getting tripped up there was Klapka by Nick Paul with the skates. We play on, no penalty. As now in neutral ice, Morgan Frost takes a look. Had a power play goal against Florida 2 nights ago. Played it to the far corner of the Tampa zone. Moser got tied up with the officials. Now is able to fling it out the center. Won't roll far enough for icing, so Mata's back on it. He'll leave it for Brustevich in the far corner of the Flame zone to our right. Goes up the far boards with it. Played to the logo. Frost can't grab it. Now in front of the penalty boxes, Mata was not able to move it along, and Gord will get back in over the line. Dropped it Holmberg near circle. Radish fed it across Moser. Moser top of the far left wing circle, trying to look around past Grid and hit, has no options. Now on the far left wing, tried to feed it to Holmberg. He got knocked down. Gergenson's there though to save today. Dropped it in the corner for Gord, got it back. Far point now Moser, bad pass, got fanned on. Here come the Flames, 2-on-2. Coronado, spinorama over the Lightning line, stays on side. Now plays to the near left side, flung it to the far corner, bounce to the trapezoid where Moser got it back for Tampa. And Gergenson's got it up to Holmberg in front of the benches. Now Holmberg being pressed by Hanley in front of the Tampa bench, keeps with it though, as he played it back to Moser, goes to the near side for Radish. Now rink wide over the Calgary line. Here's a shot that came off the stick of Gensel, and that went off the side of the net back to the far corner. Flames try to move it up to Backlund. He can't get it out. Touched in the slot to Point. Point to the near circle. A shot. Right pad save. Cooley in the slot. It's dropped back now to McDonough. His wrister. He scores! Ryan McDonough opens the scoring, and Tampa Bay leads it 1-0 on the road in Calgary. So the second goal on the season, or I should say the sixth goal on the season, I beg your pardon, for Ryan McDonough, as he was able to find that puck deep between the circles as the initial try came back to him, as it was Braden Point with the shot that went off the right pad of Cooley. And then when Blake Coleman tried to clear, it came to Gonsalves, who just touched it back to McDonough. And his shot from the slot bounces in off a flame as it went off of Zane Perek on the near glove side of Cooley. And it beats the Calgary netminder for the 1-0 Tampa lead. And they win the ensuing faceoff and are right back to work down to our right in the Calgary zone. Pass to the far point has Moser spinning at the circle. Left wing boards played it down low to Cirelli. In front, Hagel's tip got cut off in the blue paint. Not sure if it was Cooley who cut it off or a Flame defender got a piece. But up through centers now, Olofsson played it behind the Tampa Bay goal, as it'll end up being taken by Kucherov. And now on the near right wing side, it's played up to Radish. Darren Radish, brother of Taylor Radish, chipped it around the Calgary net. To the far left wing corner it goes, but it's taken back by the Flames. Up the near side, tipped in by Coronado. He'll head to change, getting on. It's Ryan McDonough still out there after scoring the opening goal. As when scoring first this year, the Tampa Bay Lightning 35-1. That's 30 wins, 5 losses, and 1 overtime loss. Not to get confused with a 35-1 record. As back in come the Lightning looking for more. A shot by Chernak missed the net though. As Perry from behind will backhand it right up to Chernak again. Right back around the goal, he'll send it to the far corner. Bjorkstrand up to the blue line. It goes McDonough. Long flip shot there off the end boards once again. Bjorkstrand trying to bank it, had it go off the net back to him. Now on top of the paint, it pops up, and Cooley's able to locate it and take a whistle. 11:09 remaining in this opening period. It's 1-0 Tampa Bay on the goal by Ryan McDonough. Back in a moment here on my YouTube channel. Welcome back into my own YouTube channel. Jaric Rubel with you for this NHL watch along from Calgary, as the Flames are currently in a 1-0 hold to the Tampa Bay Lightning on the goal by Ryan McDonough, his 5th of the year, as he was able to get the Lightning's opening goal to lead it 1-0. I mentioned their 30 wins, 5 losses, and 1 overtime loss, ranks some of the best in the league when scoring first. When giving up the first goal, the Flames this year are 10, 23, and 4. So just over 10 minutes remain here in the opening period. Tampa Bay trying to get closer to Buffalo again in the Eastern Conference top seed chase, as currently they are 4 points back of them. A win tonight will get them to within 2. And of course, those teams will meet again on April the 6th, as they had one heck of a hockey game a couple of weeks ago in Buffalo. And they'll meet again with a big chance to win the Atlantic Division up for grabs on that day. So face-off here coming up in neutral ice as we started to resume play, but an offsides is whistled. So with 10:59 to go, we'll have a face-off coming up in front of the penalty boxes. I mentioned where the Lightning are in the standings. The Flames, meanwhile, after being in the wild card race all of last season, they've been in the basement most of this season. It's been a tough run for them throughout the course of this calendar year, but they've got 4 wins in their last 10. Not the greatest, but it's been better than what we've seen out of Calgary throughout some of their stretches this season. They had a brutal start to the year to where they couldn't really find a win until their first 10 games, and it just set them behind the 8 ball, and ever since, it's been looking up at the playoff standings. They control, though, in neutral ice with under 11 minutes to go in the first period. Pass up ahead for Coronado got turned over at the Tampa blue line. Now on the far left wing comes Holmberg. He's in with a half-slap shot. That's going to be squeezed and held by Cooley, as he'll take a face-off coming up to his right with 10:42 to go in the first period. 7th shot on goal there for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Outshooting the Calgary Flames there, 7-3 in this opening period. As now the Girgensons, Gord, and Holmberg line heads off the ice. As for this ozone draw now, head coach John Cooper changing it up a bit, as it'll be Cirelli, Kucherov, and Hagel out there for this draw against Backlund, Coleman, and Farabee. And now Backlund's able to win it clean against Cirelli, but the Flames unable to clear at the moment, as now Backlund in the near side to our right's trying to get out. He played it off the glass and got it to Coleman, and he gallops over the red line. Now the Tampa Blue to the far right wing side. Along the boards, he dropped it at the circle for Backlund. Now on the slot ball, his wrister hit a piece of the glove of Johansson, as now Coleman from the left wing side will ring it around the goal. Meeting it at the far circles, Kevin Ball played it up to the far point, but unable to get there is Whitecloud, as the ex-Vegas Golden Knight defenseman heads back after it, brought over in the Rasmus Anderson trade earlier this year with Vegas, as his pass on the near side for Olofsson forces a turnover for Tampa Bay, as Gensel on the near side dropped it, point shot it, save made there by Cooley, and now Calgary launches it down the ice. This should end up icing. It will be, as Lilleberg gets back in time with 9:52 to go here in this opening period. So a reminder, coming up this week with me on the call, it'll be the Avalanche and the Penguins on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 Central, and then the Sharks and the Blues on Thursday, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Some fun games coming up here on my YouTube channel. Face off to the left of Cooley, won by point. Gensel, a shot, fought off and got the glass on the rebound. Up the near right side it goes, Lilleberg. Now to point at the right wing circle. Fed it back up top, Lilleberg. Now point again at the circle. Try to go far side, but Cooley beat him there, moving to his right. As now after that save at Karen back out the center. The Flames changing on the fly as Tampa circles back in neutral ice. Gensel at the logo. Got the red line and lofted it back into Calgary ice. Behind the goals, Oli Mata trying to play it for Calgary. Lost it. Good poke check by Gonsalves. On the near side, though, Gensel's unable to maintain possession, and it's backhanded out the center and carried over the line by Klapka. Got his own puck in the far corner. Tried to play it off Johansson and banked off the netting to point. And now Braden points straight ahead out to center. Pass went off a skate. Sits at the red line, and now it's touched back to center. And the Flames will reset in the front of the penalty boxes. Hanley will wrist it in. It'll go around the Tampa Bay goal and bounce to the near side. Penalty coming up here on the Flames, is getting tripped up in behind was Cirelli. So off to the benches, Johansson with the extra attacker. As now behind the goal, Cirelli will start this rush up ahead. He'll leave it for Radish now, as they get set up with their 6 skaters, Tampa Bay does, as Radish not in a rush from behind his own net to move it. Now goes on the far wing to Hagel. He'll drop it at his own blue line. It'll be Radish again, leaving it at the Flame logo for point. But Tampa doesn't like the zone entries they've been given, so they're going to try again. Kucherov leaves for point. Right wing side, now he's into the Calgary zone. Good poke check to Gensel at the right point. Now along the blue line, it's Radish with it. Radish along the right wing boards. Down low, Gensel hit there by Kevin Ball, but the puck played to Kucherov by Perry. Kucherov goes across far circle. Hagel's wrister deflected in front to the far corner. Coronado will touch up, and the whistle will go. So when we return, the Tampa Bay Lightning to the game's first power play, already up a goal with 7:59 remaining in the first period. You're watching an NHL watch along right here on my own YouTube page. Welcome back in. Tampa to the power play as Tyson Gross in his first NHL game for Calgary takes a tripping call against Anthony Cirelli, and he'll sit in the sin bin for 2 minutes. Tampa's man advantage this year, 12th in the NHL, 6th best on the road. Calgary's PK 10th in the NHL, 10th as well on home ice. The Bolts win the draw, and to the right of Cooley is Kucherov. To the point, he plays it for Radish. Radish to the far left wing for Hagel along the boards. Back up top to Radish it goes. Near circle, Kucherov couldn't get there. Coleman nicely played it away from him as the ex-Tampa Bay Lightning gets a clear. 1-2 cups here in Tampa Bay did Blake Coleman. Still out here for the Flames on this PK as Tampa's back in far circle. Hagel is shots blocked away there by Brustevich's stick as that goes out of play. Or White Cloud, I should say. 28, not 48. So face-off here will stay inside the Calgary defensive zone to the right of Devin Cooley as this Calgary PK here tries to keep it just a one-goal game. As Tampa Bay, if they start getting up multiple goals, they'll just suffocate you afterwards and have no problem just playing that style of hockey. Face-off to the right of Cooley is won by the Bolts. Point will have it. He gets it to the near right wing for Kucherov. Protects here against Coleman, loses possession, goes behind the goal. Gensel trying to get it in the trapezoid. Bounced in front. Point there alertly tried to get to it, but it was again taken by Coleman. Great PK job here for him as he's now away shorthanded over the red line in the blue. Cut into the slot. Tried a shot that went to the blocker side of Johansson and wide. Now Kucherov on it. Played it to the logo for Hagel. He spins back with it. Top unit staying on the ice for John Cooper's Bolts. As Hagel plays one to the far left wing corner, Mata's going to get on it first, and he'll clear with ease as it rolls over the Tampa Bay blue line. Point takes it back. Looks like Tampa trying to get a couple of changes as Hagel gets off for the moment. And now just getting on for Tampa's Gonsalves on the near right side. Kucherov up top, Perry to the far left wing circle. Gonsalves shot it over the crossbar. Came to the near right wing side. Now Kucherov tied up. Lost it to Hanley. Now Farabee has an easy clear. Down the ice it goes. 30 seconds remain on the Tampa power play. Under 6.5 remain in this opening period. Still just 1-0 Tampa on the goal by Ryan McDonough. His 6th of the season. As now Cirelli through center with the final 15 on the power play. Got a return pass on the right wing side from Bjorkstrand. Put it around the goal. Perry far wing. Fanned out a pass. Pinned to the boards now by White Cloud. White Cloud trying to knock it free with his right skate. Couldn't as Perry got it to the far point for Dastu. Dastu, far wall Gonsalves in the slot. Cirelli fumbled the puck, bouncing around. Far left wing. Came up to the Flames as now penalty time's up. They're through center. And now into the zone on the far right wing side is Gross fresh out of the box. He blew a tire over the Tampa line. And now the Bolts will get possession back as the Flames will make a change. As now the top line heads on the ice here. As the Calgary, or I should say the Tampa Bay Lightning do the same. As from behind behind their own net. Here is Dastu up the far left wing side. Couldn't connect with Gergensons, as now it bounces back to him in front of the Calgary bench. It's rattling around the blue line at the moment. And now trying to dig it free is Holmberg and Morgan Frost, as nobody really wants to come up with this puck. Now the Bolts do. Gord inside the blue line. Played it around the Calgary goal as Chernak played it. Came around to the far left wing side. Gord, as a broken stick comes in his way. Played it in the slot. Holmberg fanned out a one-timer. Now Gridden to move it up the near side. Coronado, backhand try. Got to the logo, but now Chernak whacked it the other wing. Far side into the Calgary zone's Holmberg. His shot blocked by Hanley, and this one does go out of play. 4:53 remaining, first period, still 1-0 Tampa Bay on the road in Calgary. You're listening to this NHL Watch Along with Jaric Rubel, live here on YouTube. Back here in Calgary, still 1-0 Tampa on the road. Jaric Rubel with you here live on my YouTube channel, as we're having copyright issues with the Ultimate Sports Media channel. So for here, we reside for the next 7 days. Face-off coming up here to the right of Devin Cooley, down to our right, with 4:53 remaining here in the first period, as Gergensons goes against Frost for this draw. Able to win it clean for Tampa to the back. McDonough tried to give it back to Holmberg on the wing, but it's poked back to center by Frost. Is now Tampa on the near side. Gord goes across. Holmberg back into the Calgary zone, looking behind the goal. Here's Gord out of the corner. Up top, Chernak. Back to Gord. Gord looking. Has to play it back down behind the goal. Didn't get a lot on that pass, though, so Mata's able to intercept. Up ahead, Pospisil will play it to Frost. And now from the logo, snapped it into the Tampa zone. Behind the goal to the right of Johansson. Played around to the far right wing. Here's Whitecloud. His shot off of Johansson's shoulder. Rebound to the far side. Behind the goal, Klapka now played it to the near side. Trying to pinch his Kevin Ball. Got a stick on it, but it does come back to center as Tampa Bay gets possession. Now on the far side, McDonough circles back. Played it to his defense partner on the near side, Chernak. He'll give it right back. McDonough spinning with it now. Under 4 minutes to go in the opening period. Played it to Paul. He had it go in his gut. Now turned it over on the near side. It's thrown to Sharon Govich. Left wing circle. Button hooks to the point. Hanley one-timer into the glove of Johansson. As Tampa there getting kind of messy, trying to get out of their own zone. Was not on the right page. And it almost ended up in a pretty good scoring chance for the Flames. I wouldn't say that shot by Hanley was the most glorious opportunity they've had, but it was a good chance to try and get the equalizer. But Johansson had other ideas. So the first meeting between these two teams down in Tampa Bay was a 5-1 spanking by Tampa against these Calgary Flames. The lone goal was scored by John Beecher for Calgary, a shorthanded marker, as they struggle to get anything going that night versus Tampa. They're trying to get stuff going here tonight versus Tampa with Jonas Johansson in net, who's known to give up more than a few goals, as we'll see if they get one here off the crossbar. No, the official says it's a goal, as Olofsson ripped one from between the circles, and it went out as fast as it went in. So 13th goal of the year for Victor Olofsson. He scored his first goal as a member of the Flames on Friday against Florida. And right on cue, Jonas Johansson gives one up right over his shoulder as it went off the back bar in the back of the net, hence to why it went in and out so fast. As it looked like from my vantage point, it hit the crossbar, but it went off the back bar in the back of the net, right where the camera sits. And a ricochet right back out. Calgary with the tying goal here at 1 with just over 3.5 remaining in the first 20 minutes of this game. So off the ensuing face-off, Calgary does get possession, but Olli Mata's attempt to get over the Tampa line's nullified, so it's thrown back to Calgary ice. Mata will try again. Left wing Coronado banked it off the glass. Gridden can't locate it. Now it came back in neutral ice, and Coronado will. Near left wing side, centered Frost, a shot, he scores! Matthew Coronado set up Morgan Frost, and he finished it beautifully. And just like that, Calgary 2-1. So Morgan Frost goals in back-to-back games now, as he and Olofsson connected on Friday. They got goals for each other here in this one, as Coronado on the left wing side, after making a bad pass, had the puck bounce back to him, and he zoomed up the left wing boards, put on the brakes at the circle, and found Morgan Frost driving on top of the paint, who was able to shoot it far side in tight against Jonas Johansson, as John Cooper on the Tampa bench does not look too pleased, as his Bolts are now all of a sudden down 2-1 on the road in Calgary. So if you're wondering why I chose this game for the Flames, this might just be why. I said Jonas Johansson gives up a lot of goals. I figured we should find a Flames game that has potential to be pretty fun, and this one I think does, as 2 quick ones has them on top just like that. 2-1 over who is arguably the favorite in the Eastern Conference, the Tampa Bay Lightning. So in front of the Lightning bench, a faceoff's pulled forward by Coleman alertly, as he's now moving far right wing into the Tampa zone, dropped it off Whitecloud. His shot saved Johansson, and that was an awkward looking save, as Johansson just put one right on. But the Tampa netminders able to squeeze that one, as the shots are now all even at 8 apiece in this game. So 2:55 remaining in the opening period. Line change happening here for Calgary, as they'll get a different group on here for this offensive zone draw to the left of Johansson. So it looks like it'll be the line of Ryan Strome, Victor Olofsson, and Sharon Govich, who scored the first Flames goal a couple of minutes ago. And off this tie-up, it's played to the far point. It's grabbed by Perek. He has all enough time to walk into the near circle. Hanley, a shot and a short side save with the blocker by Johansson. Rebound behind the goal, flung out by Yanni Gourde. Perek trying to reset for Calgary. Played it right into Holmberg, though, as now Tampa gets possession back. On the near right wing, Lilleberg played it in off a skate. To the far corner, it goes down to our right in the Calgary zone. Gergenson's played it around the goal to the near point here. Gourde tried to get it to Lilleberg, but it escapes him. And down the ice it goes into Calgary zone, or Tampa ice, and it's going to be icing here, as I beg your pardon. I thought Tampa last touched that puck, but it looks like Calgary last got it. So Tampa here gets another offensive zone draw coming up with 2:23 to go in this opening period. So Colin chiming in here saying, wow, Robert with the 2 quick goals. Christian saying, yes, I do enjoy it. So thank you guys, everybody, for chiming in the chat. If you're new here, I know some of you guys are regulars, but if the one extra person that's in here is new, hit subscribe, hit the like button, put the bell notifications on so you're aware in my future streams throughout the week, Avalanche and Penguins, and Sharks and Blues when they go live here on YouTube. So down to the final 2 minutes in this first period. Flames back into Tampa ice on the far right wing. Sharon Govich protecting. Tried to get it onside to Mata, but a good poke check by Gensel sent it back out to center, as now the Flames will recoil again. Mata, left wing side, had it tipped into Tampa ice, no icing, and now they turn it over on the far wing to Brustevich. Down to the corner, he played it. Up it goes to the near circle, Mata. Mata looking, trying to drive to the goal, and a backhander got tripped up, did the Bobby Orr dive, no penalty. To the far wall, Brustevich protecting against point. Got it in the slot, backhander Coleman, not on net as it trickled in behind. McDonough up the left wing, can't get it out. Held in Backlund, long flip shot, deflected, save Johansson, he'll glove it, as he was able to locate that deflection and cover it with 1:26 remaining in the first period, as Calgary now starting to get the better of the play here against Tampa Bay, as they've been all over them since they scored the tying goal. And good puck movement here, too, by this top line of the Flames and the defensemen as well. Mata and Brustevich, they worked the perimeter well to where they were able to get a couple of tries, one by Mata and one by Coleman near the top of the blue paint. And if you're able to get Johansson just moving like that, he's eventually going to lose his blue paint. And his rebound control is so rough that you're going to have that puck somewhere to find. As I like what Calgary's doing, you're just trying to get him moving and get that loose puck, as there's inevitably going to end up being one there. So face off to the right of Johansson. A tie-up's going to be grabbed by Radish and the Bolts. As up the right wing side he'll go. Swooped it across to the far left wing side. And Brustevich unable to get it back to center for Calgary. Klapka just able to run Holmberg out of there. As Adam Klapka going into this game, 251 hits. He's not afraid to use that big frame of his. And he does a good job there for Calgary, who's now out the other way through center. Over the red and blue is Strome. Near left wing, Pospisil, a shot stick the side to the near corner by Johansson. Under a minute now to go in this opening period. Turnover here by the Bolts. Klapka lost it at his feet, now finds it left wing circle. Fanned on the pass, it rolled to the point. Mata trying to play it, but Holmberg played it away from him, and now a 2-on-1 for the Lightning as Mata pinched. On the near right wing side's Gord. Gord a backhander off the pad of Cooley, as a good job on defense on the backside by Pospisil, the forward, as he was able to just stay with Cirelli on the far wing and prevent that pass from making any sort of sense. So Calgary, with under a half minute to go in the first, dumps a puck back into Tampa ice. The Dastu will carry up with it. Got a return pass from Kucherov from the logo on the far wing. Hit hard by Whitecloud as he's sandwiched on the far wing. Puck still behind the Calgary goal at the top line going to work. Kucherov passed to the point, got picked off. And now Kucherov upended by Kevin Ball. Stays onside those, and now on Kucherov's play to pass across. Oh, Cooley! What a blocker save on Hagel at the horn. As off a turnover, Hagel and Kucherov thought they were going to connect easily, and Kucherov set Hagel up perfectly, but Devin Cooley moving to his right, able to make a big save at the buzzer, as Tampa moving in odd man rush could not capitalize, as Cooley was able to get it. With that blocker save, Kucherov from the near right wing circle, a perfect backhand across and a perfect blocker by Devin Cooley. It was in the right spot, as it was right where that shot by Hagel was going. So 2-1 Calgary after the first period on two quick goals by Victor Olofsson and Morgan Frost, as those two guys capitalized 27 seconds apart. Olofsson's 13th of the year from Sharon Govich and Whitecloud. Morgan Frost, his 17th of the year from Matt Coronado. The lone Tampa goal, Ryan McDonough, his 6th of the year from Gage Gonsalves and Braden Point. It's 2-1 Calgary through 20 minutes of play. When leading through 20 minutes this season, the Calgary Flames are 15-9-3. The Tampa Bay Lightning, when trailing after the first period, are 7-12-3 on their end. Shots were 11-10 Calgary in the opening 20 minutes. They out-hit the Bolts 10-3 as well, as it was definitely dominated by Calgary in the second half after they got their tying goal. They definitely looked like the better team from there on out. We'll see how these two teams adjust in the period of the long change. The second period is on its way. Don't go anywhere. It's only 15 minutes away. Grab a drink, grab a snack, come back. You're listening to an NHL watch along from Calgary, Flames and Lightning, on my very own YouTube channel, Jaric Rubel. It's time for the second period of play in Calgary between the Flames and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Jaric Rubel with you here live on my personal YouTube channel as the Ultimate Sports Media channel's going through its bit of turmoil, as it tends to do time and time again. So we're here for the next 7 days. Shots are 11-10 Calgary as they lead it 2-1 through 20 minutes of play as they score 2 goals 27 seconds apart. Victor Olofsson from Sharon Govich and Whitecloud, and then Frost from Coronado on a nice play off the rush. McDonough, the lone goal for Tampa Bay, his 6th of the year, opened the scoring tonight from Gonsalves and Braden Point. Big 2 points are on the line here for Tampa Bay. It's not to be overlooked just because they're a good team. They do want home ice advantage. They do want to win the division, as they are currently just 2 points back, or I should say 2 points up, of third place. Both Boston and Montreal tied at 86 points in the Atlantic. Tampa sits at 88. Buffalo currently in action right now, tied at 2 against the Anaheim Ducks. They sit atop the Atlantic with 94 points, and they might get up to 96 by the end of tonight if they're able to win against the Anaheim Ducks. So we'll see what happens. But Tampa, that skid they went on after the Olympic break is definitely proven to put them in a spot to where every point is critical, as I don't know how much they necessarily care about home ice as a team with this pedigree and a team that's, gone through the playoff stages time and time again. But I definitely would think, especially with Montreal potentially being one of the opponents, they would rather not have to go to the Bell Center for games 5 and 7 if necessary. And of course, you still have the Ottawa Senators lurking. I don't want to write them off. You don't want to write the Bruins out from potentially getting up to the top. The Red Wings, I'm close to writing off, as painful as that is for me to say, as I kind of want to see them in the playoffs, but I think they're in a bad spot right now, and losing to Boston last night hurt them a ton. So the Atlantic Division, still so much could change. Like, Tampa could finish second where they are now, and they could draw Ottawa, who I think if Ottawa gets in, nobody wants to see them. I'm picking Ottawa in the first round, no matter who they play if they get in. I think maybe, I'll say this, as the second period's about to start here, Tampa attacking right to left, Calgary going left to right. As right off the draw, hold up, Coronado pushed right on net, just screwing with my thoughts here as I can't finish my thought. But I think if Senators played the Lightning, I would pick Lightning in 7 in that one. Tampa in 7 games is a good pick just because Vasilevsky's so good at locking it down, 1 goal or less in every game 7 I believe he's played in. So I couldn't help but just kind of go along that route. So now to the action on the ice. 30 seconds gone by, but don't worry. Besides Coronado scaring me off the start, nothing's really happened. As through center, McDonough on the near left wing will play a puck up to Gergensons. He's tied up with Brustevich. Calgary takes it back. Farabee on the near side. Lifted his stick was Chernak, and now Tampa takes back over as McDonough goes behind his net down to our right. Chernak bumped it up the left wing boards. It doesn't get out. It's going to be held in on the right side. Here's Backlund in the slot. Bounced around. Farabee can't grab it. Came to the far wall. Paul will poke it ahead for Tampa as Farabee tried to keep it, but it went right on the blade of Gergensons, who's out through center on the near left wing for Tampa Bay. Drop for Paul. His shot saved by Cooley. Rebound goes in behind. Parekh wants to clear, but he's going to have to try again as it comes back to him near the near side. Instead, Coleman will move it along before Parekh had to do anything, but now it finds him, and he'll play it on the logo for Backlund. Backlund over the Tampa line, far circle, trying a shot, sticked aside by Johansson. Behind the goal, Frost played it up on the right side for Parekh, but he's unable to grab it and hold the line, so he chases back behind his own net. Up the near right wing side he goes, Zane Parekh, in his second technically NHL season, but still his rookie campaign, as he only got a couple of games last year. Flames now have ended up icing it here with 18-17 to go in the second period. So face-off will come back in their defensive zone. That pairing of Hanley and Parekh has been out there for a little bit here to begin this second period. So Tampa going to get an opportunity with the top line to get after a tired bunch here for Calgary, as Cirelli loses this draw to Ryan Strome, as Ryan Strome was just given basically to Calgary for a bag of pucks from Anaheim, as I felt like they were just clearing up their roster space moving forward to make other moves, as that's exactly why that move was made. But he's here in Calgary now, as now the Lightning are going to go to work here in the O zone. Here's Cirelli dropping it for Moser. Moser will go around the Calgary net. It's played by Kucherov to the point. One-timer, Radish, save made. Rebound, Cirelli, another save made by Cooley. Rebound, far wall. Up top, Kucherov. Straight away, Radish. Long wrister, fought off by Cooley again. He's been strong for Calgary, as the only goal that went past him went off his own defenseman. Behind his goal, Whitecloud backhanded it to center. Calgary survives that Tampa wave from the top line, but right back in they come off a takeaway. Hagel dropped it far circle on the right wing side. Kucherov surveys up top to Lilleberg. His shot off the tip of the glove of Cooley. To the far wall, Kevin Ball played it up to Whitecloud. Back this way, now out to center come the Flames. Strome tried to clear, got tied up, but it will get punched deep, and both teams will make changes with 3 minutes just about played here. In the middle frame, Jaric Rubel, glad you're with me on YouTube, the Ultimate Sports Media channel. Down for the next 7 days, so to the personal page we go, as the grind doesn't stop. Dastu with a shot from the point here for Tampa, got stopped in the slot, as the Flames will send it the other way. This won't be icing. Thought it might have been on Farabee, but no whistle. We play on, and that allows Tampa Bay to carry on up the far right wing. Point trying to get through Oli Mata. He couldn't, as now Mata with the puck carries through center over the red. Now the Tampa Blue, far circle, got it back, tipped it on net, came back to the near side as it didn't quite reach Rio Hansen. Now Tampa on the near left side. Gensel with open ice into the Calgary zone, looking for a cross-ice pass, dropped it in the slot, point a shot, save Cooley, as he was squared and centered on top of the blue paint. And Braden Point's try was nabbed by the Calgary netminder. So Cooley been terrific for the Calgary Flames in this game. Rookie netminder signed a contract extension through 2027-2028, as he was signed as an unrestricted free agent back on July 1st, 2024. So his second year here with an NHL organization. His career record is 10-12-5, as he got some starts last year as well. A career goals against under 3, a 2.93 average, and a team that hasn't won the most games since he's been around. So good numbers for him in net, especially at home. And he's proven it here again in this game, Devin Cooley. And now his team's able to win a D-zone draw and clear it the other way. So now down to our right in the Tampa end of the ice. Hanley played it behind the goal for Calgary, but it came right to Dastu, or I should say Gord, who will play it around the wall, and it came up that far wall and pinballed back to Gord in the slot. He tries to clear on the far side. Got run out of the play there by the rookie Gross, as now Calgary tries to steer it back into Tampa ice, but Johansson will control this one and just cover. So nothing more will come of that. 15:53 to go in the second period. Another stoppage here with an O-zone draw upcoming for the Calgary Flames. So I mentioned Victor Olofsson scored his first goal as a member of the Flames on Friday against Florida, a tally that would hold up as the game winner, and he now has 4 game winners on this season, 3 with the Avs, 1 now with Calgary, so he was brought over in the Nazem Kadri trade. The only players from Sweden that have more game-winning goals this year are Adrian Kempe, Victor Arvidsson, and Lucas Raymond. And the other man finding the back of the net here was Morgan Frost for the Calgary Flames in this game, as he's now got another goal on the year. He had an assist in the third period, along with a goal against Florida on Friday, as he's picking up the slack here as well, as Morgan Frost and his old teammate, now current teammate again, Joel Farabee, were brought over last year in a hockey trade made with the Philadelphia Flyers. So now they're here in Calgary as a part of this retool, rebuild, however you want to describe it, as they are going to be a pivotal part here moving forward for the Flames. So from behind the Tampa Bay net, here's Darren Radish with 15.5 to go in the second period. Played one right off a stick. It goes to the Calgary bench out of play. So another stoppage here, 15:28 to go in the second period. As I'll now talk about March Madness, I mentioned how the copyright strike hit the Ultimate Sports Media channel, and I'm not sure what Matt's plan is. I don't know if he's listening to this broadcast right now, but I don't know what his plan is for the rest of the March Madness games. I was going to give you information as to how you could find them, but I'm unsure at the moment. But if you want hockey, right here, Jaric Rubel's YouTube channel. So through neutral ice, the Flames win a face-off, And Gridden will backhand one into Tampa. Came back to him. His shot off the pad of Johansson. Right back to him on the rebound. It goes. Far wing. Centered it. Now trying to centers Frost. It came to the near circle. Coronado. Dropped it off for Perek. Slid it to the far point. Hanley. Back to Perek. He walks the blue line. Now between the circles. Long wrister. Off the glass it goes. Missing to the glove side. Tampa trying to clear it up the near side. Desto put it into Perek. Skates. But now unable to clear his Tampa. Coronado a great keep. Dropped to the far point. Hanley. Up between the circles. Frost. Now Hanley tied up between two white sweaters at the far circle. The puck will escape him and head out to center. And Calgary now will reset. They want fresh bodies on, so it's dumped right back in by Perek. Lilleberg will grab it in. The trapezoid for Tampa down to our right. And now fresh bodies for each team onto the ice surface. So Lilleberg played it on a swing play up ahead for Kucherov. He's straight ahead over the Flame logo. Now Calgary blue line to the far circle. Fanned on a pass that went through the blue paint to the near side. Brustevich for Olofsson. Olofsson trying to chip it back to Brustevich. Take it away Cirelli. Behind the goal. Kucherov will leave it far wall for Hagel. Hagel far right wing. Played it back behind the Calgary goal to our left. Cirelli's tied up. Lost it thanks to Brustevich. Now Mata on the near side will shuffleboard one on his backhand through center. And now on the near side, Strome bobbling it over the Tampa line, stays on side. Flung it around the goal, came to the far left wing boards. Kucherov turned it over right in the slot. Sharangovich's shot at a left arm save by Johansson as Kucherov, a rare turnover from him, almost ended up in the back of his net on the Yegor Sharangovich try. But now Tampa back the other way into Calgary ice. We'll see how they redeem themselves. Kucherov keeps that in, down low to Hagel. Now Hagel along the far right wing boards with a swing shot and a save made. Cooley rebound popped out between the circles. Now far left wing Farabee's on it. Steered it past Chernak into the Tampa zone. Chernak will stash it behind his net to the near side. Up the left wing boards it's sent. Gonsalves nudged it along for Tampa, but back to Calgary it goes. As in their own zone on the far side, it's played to Coleman. Back to Kevin Ball it goes. Near side White Cloud. Up the right wing boards to center. Bounced off the glass to Point. Now Point protecting around in his own zone. Played it around his own net. And now a stoppage in play here. Kevin Ball goes palms up. And I'm not sure what the whistle is for. Perhaps an offsides. But I do know that is going to send us to break with 13:11 to go in the second period. Still 2-1 Calgary here in the Saddle Dome. Jaric Rubel back with you here in Calgary, where the Flames lead the Tampa Bay Lightning 2-1 here on my own YouTube channel. As the Tampa Bay Lightning here, rarely down on the road, they remain the NHL's third best road team by points percentage, entering yesterday's game against the Edmonton Oilers, in which they won. So they're up around 700 in points percentage on the road. Their 23 road wins so far this year are more than any other team, and their 3.92 goals per game on the road as well lead the NHL. So even though they're down at the halfway point in this game, you know they're not out of it. And yeah, it's a one-goal game. They never would have been out of it to begin with, but it's definitely going to be a tough finish here for the Flames to try and hold this team to a goal or less. And if they do so, it'll be the third straight game they do that. That is the club's longest run of the season. The Flames have played 15 games, allowing 1 or fewer goals against this year, and they're 14-0-1 in those games. They're staring down a rush here from Yanni Gourde as they fly into the left side, but it got blocked off the stick of Gourde. So back behind the Calgary net is Gourde again, trying to center for Girgensons. Lost it at the near left wing circle. Coronado will gallop with it now through center. Played it on the near right wing into the Tampa zone. Trying to pull up with it is Gridden. He's tied up. Came free Coronado. Centered Frost a shot. Save Johansson. Right pad. Rebound to the far wall for Gourde. Up the boards Kucherov. Slung it back for McDonough. Now McDonough with speed through neutral ice. The old man's lugging it. Up the near side he goes. Rugged around the Calgary goal. Kuch is with it. Played it back. Radish one-timer. Blocked him behind. Came free to the near side for Perek. Choked up on a stick. Played it up the side, near side for Backlund. Over the Tampa line to the near circle. Run out of there nicely by Cirelli. Cirelli with 29 assists this season. 3 shy of matching his career high of 32 and his plus 32 ratings. 5th among all NHL forwards. As now Hagel as well with an incredible plus minus. Has the puck on the near left wing side in the Calgary zone. Swung it up high. Radish. Half clapper. Save made by Cooley. Rebound to his right. Played around the goal by Hagel to the far wing. Taken by Kucherov. Back to Hagel. Far circle. Back up top. He slings it Radish. One-timer. Blockered away by Cooley. To the near side Moser. Played it around the Calgary goal. Brustevich will try and clear. Got it to Coleman who has time. And he'll skate it. To the red line he goes. Played it right wing side. Nobody's around Backlund. Half clapper. He scores! A defensive breakdown by the Lightning and nobody was around Backlund on the near right wing side. And he picked his spot over the glove of Jonas Johansson. 3-1. Calgary. So 16th goal on the year for Backlund as the Tampa Bay Lightning appeared to have been changing here, and Coleman from the far wing. Tampa wasn't changing. Look at on the replay, everybody just on the far wing. As just a mental lapse here, getting back on defense by Tampa allows the Calgary captain to have his way. As from the near right wing circle, just puts a half clapper over the glove of Johansson. Not great by Tampa Bay off the transition there. So off the ensuing draw at center following Backlund's 16th of the year, Calgary sends it back in as Jonas Johansson now has allowed 8, 5, 8, and 3 and counting. And if Calgary gets that all-important 4th goal, and yes, it's important, they have won 54 straight games when scoring 4 goals. So we'll see if they get the 4th, if Tampa could put that streak to the test, because it wouldn't doubt me either. They just start firing away. But man, Calgary here up 3-1 and Tampa looking lost in the last 20 minutes of game time. They have not looked good since Calgary scored that first goal to tie it at 1. But here's a takeaway. Bjorkstrand against Ball. A wraparound try. It's loose in the paint. Perry pokes at it. And the whistle, I believe, went as Cooley didn't have it. It came out through the blue paint. But the whistle went with 10:47 to go in the second period. As Kevin Ball, there's a stray stick in front of the Tampa bench. The puck hit it and made Ball get all confused. And then the wraparound try that Perry had on the follow-up just didn't get past Cooley. As I want a better look at it here. As Bjorkstrand with the first wraparound went under the legs and then back out. That was a close call for Calgary. They lose the ensuing face-off to the right of Cooley. Is now behind the Calgary net. Gensel out there with Point and Gonsalves. Point between the circles has a shot. Oh, what a save by Cooley on the tip by Gonsalves. This guy is on one in the blue paint right now. Oh, Devin Cooley, how do you do? As that tip by Gonsalves was as perfect as it'll get between the circles, and he's able to flash the leather. He was moving to his right. The shot came to his left with the deflection, and he was able to still stay with it and just barely almost snow cone it in his catching glove. So what a goaltending performance we're getting from Devin Cooley in this game for Calgary. As now down to his left, the Calgary Flames can't clear as we resume play just over 10 minutes to go in the second period. Here's Chernak from the far circle. Had a shot get blocked, came behind the Calgary net to the near wall, and now here's Brustevich looking ahead. Played it between the benches. Kevin Ball will snap it on in, and behind the Tampa net it'll bounce. Grabbed by McDonough. Up the near left wing for Gensel in neutral ice. Tried to play it across the logo. It got tipped back to him off Morgan Frost's blade. Now he's going to ice it as he missed Cirelli with the pass. And an icing is called with 9:47 remaining here in this second period. So Calgary now up 3-1 on that goal by their captain, Michael Backlund. And now with that, in his 1,136th game, gives the Flames a multi-goal lead, and he's under 80 games now, or just about 80 games remaining, 83 from catching Jerome Iginla for the most in Flames history, so he should get that number next season, and I'm sure there'll be a little ceremony to commemorate that accomplishment next year for Backlund. As now off the ensuing O-zone draw, Tampa wins it, but now it's right back into the zone as Calgary will dump it in. And to the right behind Johansson, it sits in the trapezoid. Trying to grab it is Coronado. He will away from Cirelli. Poole cued it up to the point for Whitecloud. Long wrister into the glove of Johansson as he'll hold for a whistle and another timeout here in Calgary. It's 3-1 Flames with 9:26 to go in the second period as Michael Backlund, the latest goal scorer for Calgary. (3-1) Calgary over the Tampa Bay Lightning here in the Saddle Dome. Jaric Rubel, glad you're with me here live on my YouTube channel. I'll be live again 48 hours from now. The Pittsburgh Penguins will host the Colorado Avalanche in a big game from PPG Paints Arena. Pittsburgh in desperate need of points in the Eastern Conference Metropolitan Playoff race. And the Colorado Avalanche trying to seal up the top spot in the Western Conference. That'll be Tuesday here on my YouTube channel, 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 5 Mountain Time. So as we resume play, Tampa's decided they're going to ice the puck again. So another faceoff will come up down to our right in the Tampa defensive zone. As I mentioned before the break, Michael Backlund giving Calgary a 3-1 lead. And if they were to get to that fourth goal, they have now, they've won 53 straight games when scoring 4 or more. A win today could make it 54, as that all dates back to December 16th, 2023. So off the faceoff to the right of Johansson, Gord's able to tie up Frost enough to allow the Bolts to get it, as Destu will go on the near side for Girgensons, and up through center it'll be Holmberg twisting it into Calgary ice. And the trapezoid, Cooley will play it away from Gord, up the far wall it goes. It'll be grabbed by Grit and now taken away. Grabbed by Holmberg to the near point. Here's Destu walking the wall, shot save Cooley, as he's able to hold the short side and get that for a whistle. So 8:56 now to go in the second period. 21st shot of the game for Tampa. 20th save of the game for Cooley, as a faceoff will be upcoming to his right. So Nikita Kucherov trying to get more points here on the road. He's pointless so far tonight. He's collected 12 points across his last 3 games. you heard me right, 12 points in his last 3 games. Yeah, highest point total for him during a 4-game span is 15, so he's going to need 3 points here tonight to try and match that. That came in 2024, this same time of year, March 14th through 21st, when he had 3 goals and 12 assists. Face off to Cooley's right, won by Calgary, as they do a good job to get out through center thanks to Ryan Strome's faceoff win. Sharon Govich from the red line will play it on in. Johansson had trouble with it as he just couldn't get that shot up the near boards, but Tampa's able to come up with the puck to prevent any danger from happening as they're back into Calgary ice. In front of the goal, White Cloud played one away, but it went right to Kucherov up to the point. Radish a shot blocked in front by White Cloud. To the far corner it goes. Grabbed by Kucherov along the wall. Twisted one on that. Didn't make it. To the near wall, right wing or left wing side, it's Moser. Played it behind to the trapezoid. Twisted by Gensel to Kucherov. Up top, Radish a shot save made. Cooley rebound. Another one came out. Now Moser across Cooch in the slide. Radish's shot. He scores! Jaric Rubel with a bomb from between the circles. And there's another Kucherov point. And Tampa back within a goal. So Nikita Kucherov now with 1 point in this game. He needs 2 more in this game to match his total of 15 in 4 games that he did 2 years ago. He's now got points in 4 straight with that assist set up to Darren Radish, who's able to find the back of the net yet again this year with a one-timer from out between the circles. That's Radish's 19th goal on the year, one away from becoming a 20-goal scorer. So face-off at center, controlled back by the Calgary Flames, as it's now a 1-goal game yet again after a dominant sequence by the top line for the Bolts. They're still out there for the ensuing play, except Bjorkstrand replaces Kucherov at the moment. On the far right wing into the Calgary zone, Hagel will play it in. Bruce Stevich on it, tried to give it to Mata, tied up with Bjorkstrand. Up the boards to Coleman. Puck pop free between the circles in the Calgary zone. Came to Bruce Stevich, now played it ahead. Chernak twisted it right back to Calgary ice. Can't get it in cleanly, though. His near left wing side, Perry will twist it back in. Perry around the goal. Bjorkstrand can't knock it on net. Came to Paul. His pass to the point, though, escapes and heads back to center. And now it'll be getting back on it. Lilleberg in the trapezoid. It's left for him by Johansson. So there's under 7.5 minutes remaining now in this second period. On the far right wing, Cirelli played it around the goal to the near wing. It's Kucherov again. Let it ride to Lilleberg. Left point across one-timer. Destu save rebound. Kucherov can't get a stick on it. Now between the circles. It's kicked to the far wall in the corner. Down to our left. Cirelli left it in behind. Hanley's on it first for Calgary. As Tampa just playing this top line a ton here right now. As it's been Kucherov, Hagel, and Cirelli on the ice for like 4 minutes straight, it feels like. As they've been dominating this Calgary team. And they're right back in. Left wing into Kucherov. Into the zone is Kucherov, I should say. Played it off the back of the net. Now Cirelli trying to locate it. Had it played away from him by Pospisil. Up the near wing it's sent. Can't get it out as Gross, but now unable to make a good play as Hagel, and it comes out naturally. And Klapko will play it into Tampa Bay ice. On the near side, Moser almost got stood up heavily there by Pospisil in the corner, but now it's out through center the puck is, and rolls into Calgary ice yet again. So here's big Kevin Ball. Acquired from New Jersey a couple of years ago in the Jacob Markstrom trade. Played it up the right wing for White Cloud. Rink wide far side left wing Coronado in. From the circle a shot and a save made by Johansson. As now here comes some fireworks coming on in now for Calgary is White Cloud as he's getting fisty. As now Coronado's in there as well. Radish has somebody in a headlock. Point also getting involved as the linesmen have to step in and try and break these guys apart. As it's getting a little more than feisty as these guys are really jawing at one another. Coronado here chirping at J.J. Moser. As now Gonsalves is the one player to leave the fray. As these two teams now are starting to exchange their pleasantries happily. So we'll see if any penalties come out of this. Doesn't really look like it. As the initial try by Coronado from the near left or far left wing side. Tried to go under the blocker of Johansson, but he was able to make the stop. So the faceoff should be upcoming to his right here prior to perhaps any penalties being issued out here on the skirmish that just happened. We'll see if there is anything or not. Still looking at the replay. This was just about 10 bodies flying into the near corner down to our right, just yelling at each other. And it doesn't look like any penalties will come of it. So 6:09 remaining in the second period. We'll stay at 5 skaters aside. Again, my name is Jaric Rubel. If you're excited to join me on Tuesday, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the like button as well, as I will be with you guys for the Avalanche and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Hello, Bright Angel in the chat. Nice to see you hanging out. I know Robert's happy for the fight. I know he's been waiting all day for that. Wouldn't be surprised if we get a little more. Calgary tends to play that way, but right now here's Coronado back in with a shot off the glove of Johansson. As now Tampa on the loose puck in behind will start up ahead again. As through center on the left wing, it's tipped in around the Calgary zone. No icing, says the linesman, so we'll play on. And now a stoppage is now on top of Hanley is Holmberg. And we'll see what the call is here. As I was fixing my scoreboard down at the bottom here for a second and didn't quite see what the stoppage was for. So we'll see if a penalty gets handed out here or if we'll be all good. But a good stop here. So we get another look here at the try by Coronado. Back-to-back shifts for him. This one went off the tip of the glove of Johansson. And now it looks like they're going to send us to commercial break as the doors are being opened to scrape the ice. So with 5:48 to go, we'll step aside one more time in this second period. 3-2 now as Tampa got one back. Calgary only up a goal on home ice. Back in Calgary, where the Flames are up a goal on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Jaric Rubel with you here live on my YouTube channel. As a face-off win at the center ice logo by Strome is controlled by the Flames with 5:45 to go in the second period. Again, Flames attacking left to right in this middle frame, and the Lightning going right to left. Puck in front of the Tampa bench, grabbed by the Bolt, or I should say the Flames. As now Sharangovich on the near side. Mata will wrist one around the Tampa goal. Olofsson from the far wall. Thought I turned the beats off. My apologies for the jump scare. Is on the near wall. Moser getting knocked out of the fray there by Sharangovich. Lost the puck. Strome will ring it around to the far corner. Brustevich pinching. Put it down low. Trying to get there was Point. He does for Tampa. As now up on the near side, the center's Moser. Lofted one sky high over the Calgary line. Down to Gensel. Centered Point in the slot. Down and out's Cooley. And oh, he couldn't bury it. Point. He didn't get anything on that shot. Incredible to me as he had a wide open net. And I don't know if a stick got to him or if he just fanned on the shot. But that should have been the easiest goal he scored of the season with a goaltender in that. And it still stays 3-2 in favor of the Flames. So Tampa Trying to twist it back into Calgary ice, has no luck, so it'll be reset to center by Blake Coleman. The Stanley Cup champion with Tampa flies through neutral, near circle Whitecloud, got it back from Farabee, snap pass across ball, walking, shooting, and a glove save, bounced off it by Johansson, came to the near circle on the rebound, touched to Farabee in the slot, up high ball, fanned on a wrister, Kucherov played it away from him, and it goes down the ice, no icing, Farabee gets back on it, 4:14 remaining, second period of play. Up the near side, it's thrown to Backlund crossing through center. Left it at his own blue line for Farabee. Farabee chipped it over the Tampa line. To the near corner, it goes down to our right. Holmberg on it for Tampa, lost it. Backlund took it away. Behind the goal, Coleman twisting out on his backhand in front. Save Johansson. It's loose through the paint. It goes as Backlund couldn't finish. As now up here on the far wing comes Tampa. Gergensons near side for Lilleberg. Just lumberjacks it in. Around the goal it goes. Cooley lost his balance in the trapezoid, but is back in his paint safely. Far wall, Backlund's on a loose puck. He sees a rush up ahead as he'll skate on the far wing, but he's tired, so he decides, I want to take a seat. And he dumps that on the bench for a change. 3:30 remaining in the second period, as now Tampa up with it on the near side. Through into the Calgary zone. On the near side, taking a bump there on the near side was Bjorkstrand, as that was an awkward fall for him in behind, but he's back up to his skates, as now Tampa rekindles here in their own zone. Up the far wall, Hagel tups it into Calgary ice. Down to the far corner to our left. Here puts on the brakes, lost it as Mata lifted his stick, took it away. Played it behind the Calgary goal, Brustevich. Up the near wing, got it as far as the red line. Now Adam Klapko gallop with it through center. The big boy lugs it into Tampa ice. Stays with it behind the net, rung it around up to the far point. There's ball, almost too many men on Calgary. Stays good though, shot from the blue line, blocked in front in the slot. Came now to Hagel. Hagel now through the far side, out to center. Got the red line into Calgary ice. It goes again with under 2:40 to go in the second period. Down to our left is the puck. Hagel up the left wing boards with it, trying to move it out, or I should say move it to Gonsalves, and it bounced back to him. And now Calgary will try to move it out, as that's the right words, as now here's Morgan Frost. Far wing, has a man breaking into the Tampa zone, Coronado, but a good job by Radish to break up the pass, as now he niffly plays it behind his own net on the near side for Moser. Moser through center, missed everybody with the pass. This will be icing. So with 2:11 to go now, an icing is whistled, and Calgary with an offensive zone face-off upcoming. So if this score holds, or if Calgary scores again and leads no matter what through two periods, they're 18-2-2 when leading through 20 minutes. This is surprising to me. Tampa Bay's only 2-13-2 when trailing through 40 minutes, and for a team that seems to really put it together when they need to down, two comebacks in the third is shocking to me. And it's not even me like putting them down. I'm just shocked that they haven't had more. They lose a D-zone draw. Perek circles the wagon here, and a shot from between the circle got blocked in front by either Hagel or Moser. Couldn't tell which body it hit, but they failed to clear. Now with a little bit of luck, a centering pass rolls out to center, so they eventually do, even though they didn't do it themselves. As now they'll reset as it's dumped back in by Calgary with 104 seconds to go. Here's Corey Perry, brought back over for his second stint with Tampa from the LA Kings at the trade deadline, as now he can't get it out. Perek goes across Hanley, a shot off the left arm again of Johansson. It's like it's hitting his arm. It's not going in his glove, as he's not even tracking it right with the glove, but still makes the save. The Flames will reset at center. They'll dump it in and head to change. They don't want to bother with the third line, so Radish will sit behind his net as a Tampa Bay fan in a black sweater right behind him waves right at his back. He can't see you, buddy, as now he bangs on the glass, and Radish will play it up ahead at the logo. It's given right perfectly to Gensel. Gensel lost the handle, came behind the goal to Point. Point pressed up against the boards now by Brustevich, shook him off, tricked it back now to the point Lilleberg. Now near side Destu to the near circle with a shot in and out of the glove of Cooley. Rebound goes in behind to the near corner. Under 50 seconds now to go in the second period. Near left wing side, it's Point. Around the goal, Gensel lets it ride to Kucherov. Swung it back to Lilleberg at the blue line. Tried the lumberjack it back to Kuch. It came to him. Down low, Gensel tried the center point. Missed him. Now Kucherov, a shot from the slot. Got blocked in front by Mata. On the near side, Backlund. He just lost it down the ice. This will be an icing, as Farabee has an argument for some reason. Not sure if he thought Lilleberg interfered with him, but the icing whistle is called. 31.4 to go in this second period. So still 3-2 Calgary. I know the time isn't, or I should say the score isn't important as the time when I say it, because you can see what the score is right above me. But 3-2 Calgary. Shots are 25-22 though in favor of Tampa Bay as they win a draw to the right of Cooley thanks to Cirelli. Moser to the far point, Radish. Along the wall, it's Kucherov. Snap to the net and went off the back of the boards. Near circle, it's Hagel on the left wing side. Pivots from backhand to forehand, nudged it to the point. Moser lost it, can't keep it in. Farabee will take it. Moser's turned around. Here come the Flames. Near right wing side, it's Backlund over the line. Pass across and they score! Blake Coleman, the ex-Tampa Bay Lightning, gets Calgary the all-important fourth goal, and they've won 53 straight when getting to this number. So Blake Coleman's 17th of the year comes all because J.J. Moser can't keep the puck in at the blue line for Tampa Bay. He got turned around along the boards by Farabee when he tried to keep it in. And Farabee knocked him out just enough that caused that extra half second to count. And Backlund up the near right wing, backhand pass across to Blake Coleman. And again, Jonas Johansson gets the upstairs. And Calgary leads it 4-2. So 11.1 to go in the second, and now the officials have their headsets on, as it looks like John Cooper might be challenging here for an offsides. So we'll see if the replay gets shown, but a quick answer here. So I don't even get to look at it. And after video review, it has been determined that the play is offside, so no goal. And that all-important fourth goal is going to come off the boards here for Calgary. So it'll stay a 3-2 game. As now I get a look on the blue line camera, and yeah, it was clear as day on the far wing side. Offsides was Joel Farabee, and it was the right call by the officials. So Tampa avoids disaster. Calgary does not get to that fourth goal, and it stays 3-2. Final Baker's dozen of the second now underway as Ball gets possession off a Flame faceoff win, tipped it into Tampa ice. And after a couple of battles, that'll ultimately do it. And we'll go to the second intermission with Calgary on top 3-2. Thought they had a 4-2 lead a minute ago, but taken away on a proper offsides challenge by John Cooper. And that's your score through 2 periods of play. Let's recap the scoring in this middle frame. Getting the first goal of the period, it was Mikhail Backlund, his 16th of the year from Blake Coleman and Hunter Brustevich. Then Darren Radish, the defenseman for Tampa, his 19th of the year. Kucherov, his 79th assist and 119th point on the season. And J.J. Moser, the secondary assist. Then just moments ago, we thought Blake Coleman was able to get on the board for Tampa from Backlund and Farabee, but it was taken away due to offside. So 3-2, your score through 40 minutes. Shots are 25-22 Tampa. They outshot Calgary in that period 15-11. They got back in the hit counts. They out-hit the Calgary Flames in that period 9-5. And they also got within a goal. So again, when trailing through 2 periods this year, Tampa's 2-13-2. Kind of surprising to me. They don't have more comeback wins. The Flames 18-2-2 when leading through 2 periods. So we'll see what those numbers have in store for us. 1 period remains in the Saddle Dome as the Calgary Flames lead the Tampa Bay Lightning 3-2. Through 40 minutes of action. Don't go anywhere. The third period is around the bend. Like I said, grab a snack, grab a drink, do what you got to do, and come back here in 15 minutes for the final frame of this hockey game. Again, 3-2 Calgary, and you're listening to this NHL Watch Along live on my YouTube channel, Jaric Rubel. Welcome back into the start of Period 3 live from Calgary, where the Flames lead the Tampa Bay Lightning by a score of 3-2 through 40 minutes of play. Welcome back in, everybody. My name is Jaric Rubel. Glad you're with me for some bonus hockey here on what would be the Ultimate Sports Media channel, but we're here on my personal page for now, as that channel has a week before we could live stream again. So goals in that second period, one by each team. Michael Backlund put Calgary up 3-1 with his 16th of the year, set up by Coleman and Brustevich. Then Tampa Bay got one back. Darren Radish, his 19th of the year from the back end from Kucherov and Moser. And that's a one-goal game where we stand right now, 3-2. The Calgary Flames lead it. It could have been 4-2 before the intermission, but Blake Coleman had a goal that was taken away for an offsides, as Joel Farabee was in ahead of the play. If you're able to chat, let me know who you think comes out on top in this third period. Do the Flames hang on here and perhaps get that fourth goal and make it 54 straight wins with 4 goals scored? Or do the Tampa Bay Lightning stymie them and come all the way back and win it? Whether it takes regulation or overtime, I don't know. But if you have a winner in mind, let me know in the comment section below. So we're set for action here in period number 3, as Tampa will be attacking left to right in this third period, just like the first period. And then Calgary will be moving right to left in period number 3. Again, Tampa in their road white uniforms with the blue Thunderbolt on their chest and blue numbering outlined in white and black. And then their white helmets as well with their blue pants with the lightning bolt stripe through the side of the pants. And then Calgary in their home red uniforms with the white numbers outlined in a yellow gold, and their red helmets with red pants as well. Some yellow goldish trim on the bottom of the jerseys, as it'll be the third line again, Gord, Gergensons, and Holmberg. out there for this draw to begin period number 3. And then for Calgary Flames, it will be the line of Frost, Coronado, and Gridden. So we're set to begin the period here finally, as the referee gives us a point. So we could drop the puck here officially for the third period at the Saddle Dome. A ridiculously long turnover into the frame. As off the draw, it is played to the far wing, and it'll be grabbed by the Flames. And Brustevich will punch it into Tampa ice. Down behind the goal to our left, Radish played it up and out for Tampa. So Morgan Frost back on it for the Flames as they'll reset. So in neutral ice, Coronado with an assist in this game tonight. Left one for Frost, who just didn't play it right. Now points with it over the right wing boards into the Flame zone. Dropped it to the point. Radish long shot deflected. Getzel stick and a good save by Cooley. As on the far wall, Gridden can't clear. Played back down low by Moser. Behind the goal, Brustevich put it ahead. Now on the near side, Mata's out. And past the penalty boxes, he goes with the dump in. So the Flames had to change 45 seconds into the third. The Lightning wait behind their own net. As now Moser skates up ahead. Ex-Arizona Coyote up the far wall for Holmberg. Played it behind the Calgary net. Bounce now to the near corner where Holmberg's trying to locate it. White Cloud will play it away from him. Turned it over, though, to Gord in the far corner. Being defended by Kevin Ball, knocked out of the play. Now Backlund with the loose puck this way for Brustevich. And up now it's Coleman. Coleman's pass for Farabee stays onside. Left wing played back through the slot to the far corner it goes as Tampa's on it now. Gord will play it back the other way, misfiring on the pass to Gergensons. So Ball takes it for Calgary in his own end. Goes to the far wing where it's up for White Cloud to Coleman. Coleman had it hop off his blade. Back comes Cirelli with the bolts. Near side, here's Gonsalves. Back for Cirelli. A shot off the side of that. In front. Oh, what a save by Cooley again. On to Lilleberg this time as the defenseman was all alone between the circles. And Cooley, this catching glove of his has been on fire, no pun intended, in Calgary, as he has made a few dandies with the glove hand to keep his team in front here tonight. And Cirelli with the shot, it went off his shoulder and back between the circles, off Cooley's shoulder, that is. And then Lilleberg on the follow-up was denied by the catching glove of the Calgary netminder Cooley. So Strome against Cirelli for the draw to his left. Strome's able to win it clean for Calgary. Around the goal, up the far boards it goes. Having trouble with it for a moment was Olofsson, but the Flames will get out. As straight away onside is Sharangovich. No, he's not, says the linesman. So the faceoff comes back to neutral ice. A stoppage here, a minute 45 into period number 3. So the Tampa Bay Lightning, if they don't get 2 points in this one, they probably won't sweat it. They got a big homestand coming up here through the end of the month. They'll host the Minnesota Wild on Tuesday. As they get back to Benchmark International Arena, they'll be home through the start of April. And after April 2nd, they'll finally get back on the road. I believe it'll be in Ottawa on April 4th. Might not have that game correct. I think it might be Boston, actually, than Ottawa. So I think their next road game will be in Boston on the first Saturday in April after this one. So they'll have some home cooking going as they try to at least get home ice in the Atlantic Division first round. They're going to try and win the division, but also I don't know how much of a blessing that might be. I said they might beat Ottawa in 7, but I think if Ottawa gets in, they are going to test anybody they go up against. So careful what you wish for in the Eastern Conference Atlantic Division. We have an icing here on Tampa. So a face-off coming back here into the defensive zone. O-zone draw for Calgary with 17:38 to go here in the third period. Shout out Fetty Wap. That one's for you, Robert. I know that one would get a rise out of you. So I hope you're sitting there enjoying that miserable joke I just gave out. Little face-off here to the right of Jonas Johansson. It'll be Frost against Cirelli. Off the draw, Frost wins it. Coronado a shot. It bounces in and out of the glove of Johansson. The Bolts are able to loft it as far as the logo. Re-entering, though, are the Flames. Near left wing side, Gridden will ring it around the goal. Came to the far boards. Hagel trying to chip it out. Can't get it past Brustevich yet. Still with it. Pressured off it by Gridden, but it rolls behind the goal where Lilleberg put it right up off a skate. Back to Flames possession it goes. Near circle, here's Mata. Oli Mata. Played it across through the blue paint. It ricocheted up to the far point for Brustevich. Played it back down low. Frost out of the far corner to our left. Shakes free on Dastu. Left it now on the far wall. Up the boards it goes. Brustevich can't keep it in. This will be a brutal offsides here on Calgary, as there was a good shift they had going. But unfortunately for them, a pass ends up just outside the blue line and a stoppage. So Ryan Huska, the head coach here of the Calgary Flames, watching on, as he's the 22nd head coach in the organization, as he was hired back in June of 2023. It's his third season here with the Flames, and he's been with the organization since 2014-15 when he was in the AHL. And in 4 years back there in the AHL, he posted a 135, 118, and 27 record. Then he ended up coming to Calgary as an assistant coach and now the head coach here in the Saddle Dome. So now Tampa trying to play it up ahead through neutral ice. They do, as at the Calgary blue line, Nick Paul will punch it with his right leg over to the far wall. As now sticks get tied up. Nobody coming out with this puck. It's pressured up against the boards nicely. And now Perry did knock it free, but it went to a Flame. And on the near side, left side, is Perek. His pass came back to him off a skate. He'll try again. He'll go behind his own net, though, first. And now up the near left wing side, Hanley goes across Coleman, deked past Perry into the Tampa zone. Can't get past Moser, though, as it's one arm behind the goal by Nick Paul up the near wing. Trying to get it out are the Lightning, keeping it at the point. No, unable to was Gross, as he initially thought he had a try, but it bounced away from him. Now Tampa Bay with 4 minutes elapsed in this third period. Get fresh bodies on as they wait in their own end. Darren Radish with the goal tonight, up on the swing for point on the right side. Cross ice pass Kucherov, far wing into the Flame zone. Rugged around the net to the near wall. Klapka trying to get it, got met by Kucherov, who took a trip across the ice to get to his own dump. Play that sounded weird as he don't dump around as he played it around on the near side. As now Pospisil chase after it into Tampa ice. But McDonough here played it away from him, now has possession of it, and twisted it up the far wall. Point backhands at the center, touched by Kucherov near wall into the zone's Gensel over the Flame line. In the slot, Point ran it through his legs. Kucherov spun it in front, save Cooley, it's free in the slot. Trying to punch at it was Gensel, it's free to the far wall. Ball's on it, touched up ahead to center. McDonough grabs it, avoided a near 2-on-1 for the Flames, but now a bad pass puts it on Strome's blade. He's into the slot in the Tampa zone with the shot, and that got blocked by McDonough. Free now to Kucherov, one armed away from him. Pass down low. Strome backhander save. Johansson. It's behind him but covered as Ryan Strome had it through the 5-hole, but it died on the ice inside the blue paint as there's a bunch of snow stacked up in the paint. And that, I could only imagine, is what helped slow this puck rolling through the blue paint. So Kucherov got poke checked. The puck came to Klapka between the circles. And then it was Coronado behind the defense who got the pass from Klapka, had room through the 5-hole, but Johansson got enough. Flames win the upcoming draw to his right. It's played around the goal to the near half boards. Here's Olofsson. Played it back to the trapezoid, but it's cut off Lilleberg. Played ahead Cirelli, far wing Kucherov. Toe drag sends it back ahead. Now here's Cirelli, or I should say Dastu, 51, not 71. Backhanded one off the side of the Calgary net. Olofsson will fling it back to center. In front of the penalty boxes is Sharon Govich. Chipped it over the Tampa line, grabbed by Dastu as the Bolts get possession back with 14.5 remaining in the third period. Dastu over the logo. Now the Flames far blue line. Played it around the goal to our right. Up to the point it goes. Now it's dropped at the line for Hagel. Hagel working between the circles. Had a shot go off a leg of Backlund. Sharon Govich with it now for the Flames. Touched it ahead. Hagel, though, took it away before it could get to Backlund. And it's twisted back up. Gonsalves trying to get through a maze of Flames. Stays with it. On the far wall, he'll leave it. McDonough lofted it near side. Hagel a one-timer, and that didn't make it on net. It was a great pass. McDonough so good at those rink-wide seam passes, but Hagel couldn't hit the target. Meanwhile, the puck back into Tampa ice while I was describing that shot. Down to our left it is. Behind the goal is Backlund. Backlund lost it, taken out of there by Holmberg, who now has the puck and gets out to neutral ice. Chipped far wall, played deep by Gord. Into the far corner, Hanley tried to move it up for the Flames, gave it to Coleman, who has trouble with it. Getting hacked around on the far wall. The puck's freed out and behind. And now Perek turned it over for the Flames. Here's Gord back with it for Tampa out of the far corner. Up to the far point, McDonough. This way, Radish, half Clapper, looking for a tip in the slot. Couldn't get it from Holmberg. Behind the goal in the far corner is Holmberg, though. Along the half boards, McDonough played it behind. rode the goal to the near side. Here's Radish pinching down low behind in the corner. Skates to the trapezoid. Played it up to the far point. Unable to cover in time was Gord as McDonough was changing, as now the Bolts have to reset. Gord turned it over at center, and Hanley's been out there a while, so he'll just snap it in. Flames getting fresh bodies on the ice as now the top line's back over the boards, as they'll end up just dumping it in, and Moser will send it back for Tampa the other side. So under 13 minutes now to go in this third period, 3-2 in favor of the Calgary Flames. Tampa here trying to get the equalizer and try and draw within 2 points of Buffalo, who last I checked is currently trailing in Anaheim, is now off a turnover. Another shot goes off the crossbar. On the far side, it was Coronado, who's had a lot of tries, now has a one-timer from the near circle, get cut off by Johansson. Came back to Coronado, a shot, save made by the pads of Johansson. Rebound to the near side. It's going to be grabbed, Coronado back across to Ball. Played it around the goal, Ball did, out of the corner fair, or I should say Frost turned it right onto the stick of Gensel. And now Tampa's the other way. Far left wing, over the flame line is Point. Protecting against Ball, pulls up in the far quarter down to our right. At the left wing circle, up to the point, Dastu slid it this way, McDonough. Seam pass across, didn't get the tip he wanted. And now here come the Flames the other way. Here's Gross in his first NHL game. Stood up at the Tampa blue line by Dastu. He has to get back now as Perry will send it in. Around the goal, it goes to the far corner. Poked back in behind to the near side. Pospisil launches it up. This will be an icing here, it looks like, and the whistle will in fact go with 11:33 to go. So face-off coming back in the O-zone for the Bolts here, and Tampa almost went down 4-2 again in this game as they had a disallowed goal earlier, the Flames did, and this time Kevin Ball set up Matt Coronado, and from the far right wing circle, it was a sauce pass by Kevin Ball, and whacking it out of midair was Coronado, and he beat Johansson to the glove side upstairs, but just hit the crossbar. Face off to the right of Cooley, going to be won by Nick Paul. Played now around in the slot, puck's pinballing around, came to the far wall, behind it's Hagel. Hagel out of the near side, looking to go up top with it, can't find a lane, sent it back down low. Here's now Paul falling to both knees after Cirelli delivered a jolt in the corner, allowed him to get the puck. Near side shot, trying to go short side. Cooley stopped that. Back in the near corner, Hagel sent it down low. Cirelli back to Hagel, twisted it to the blue line. Here's Radish, across Moser, a shot, save Cooley, rebound to the far corner, grabbed by Klapka, and the Flames can't get out. Hagel poked it and took it away. On the far side, Moser sends it back behind the Calgary net to the near corner. Here's Paul, behind to the trapezoid. Hagel tried to fling it to the point for Radish, but it got deflected off a Flame stick. It came to Pospisil, who now goes and gets it up to Klapka, and the Flames will change as Klapka goes to work down to our left behind the Tampa goal. Protects it beautifully here against Radish. Got it down low back to the near corner. Here's Strome. Tried a centering pass for Sharangovich that wasn't in his area, and that allows Tampa to get it to the red line. Kucherov will snap it in now as he's back on the ice. 10:20 remaining in the third period. Flames hanging on to a 1-goal lead. It's been all Tampa Bay, though, in this third period for the most part. As back in come the Flames, Sharangovich across. Olofsson's one-timer from the far right side, shut down by Johansson, moving to his left, as he'll make that stop with 10:11 remaining in period number 3. 3-2 Flames, they're hanging on. Let's see if Tampa Bay finds the equalizer. 3-2 Calgary with half the third period remaining in the Saddle Dome. Jaric Rubel here with you live on my very own YouTube channel. Be back with you on Tuesday and Thursday as well. As on Tuesday, the Penguins welcome the Avalanche to town. A fun matchup between Sidney Crosby and Nathan MacKinnon, and Erik Karlsson and Cale Makar as well. Erik Karlsson's turning back the clock and playing some terrific hockey on the back end for the Penguins. And then on Thursday, the Sharks and the Blues. If the Blues could get a big 2 points against the Capitals on Tuesday, that game against the Sharks will be huge as well. Because if the Sharks fall victim to the Preds in Nashville on Tuesday, or even get 2 points, it'll still draw the Blues closer if they can come up with 2 wins this week, as they're not out of it yet. And I think that'll be a fun one on Thursday night. So the Flames here lose a draw in the O-zone. Here's Tampa trying to get out of their own end. Dastu up the near side, got to the penalty boxes and deflected one out of play off the glass. So a face-off coming back now in neutral ice with 9:56 to go in the third period. Don't think they'll send us to another commercial break, though I wouldn't be shocked if they did. But it looks like we'll stay put right here. There's Tampa here with Dastu on the ice. A lot of young guys on the back end. Lilleberg, Dastu, Moser, all young guys. Radish been around a little bit, but still having his breakout year this year on the back end after not being more than just a utility guy for the most part of his career. Now has 61 points on the season. So good for Radish. He's 1 goal away from 20 goals. So back in the Calgary end of the ice, the Bolt control as Girgensons try to wrap around, got cut off in front. Now in the slot, it's carried up by Coleman and thrown out to center. And Tampa will reset in their own zone with 9:35 to go in the third. Around their own net, it's played. Dastu will send it back up through center. The Flames will take possession back in their own zone. As Mata goes across, Brustevich sends it through neutral to Coleman. Dropped it through his legs over the Tampa line for Farabee. Left wing circle, got poke checked by Lilleberg. Planted into the boards as well with a heavy hit. Meanwhile, the puck's to the far side now, where Holmberg's trying to twist free from Backlund. He gets away. This puck might roll far enough for icing, though, and it, in fact, will, with 9:08 to go in the third period. So Lilleberg trying to loosen himself up a little bit after delivered a big hit to Farabee. Is on the near side. He delivered a jolt that looked like it could have gotten Farabee in the numbers and been a penalty. But the referees let it slide as it stays 5-on-5. So face-off coming up here to the left of Johansson. Gord tied up with Strome. And it's taken by the Bolts and Moser. Flips to center. Tampa trying to get deep pairing change. They can't yet, though, as Moser's still out there with Radish. Puck came to Radish at the near circle in his own zone. He'll skate behind his own net. And up the far wing, he sends it. Touch to Hagel over the flame line far wing. Wrapped it around the Calgary net. It's met by Radish at the near circle. Punch back behind to the far wall. Up the boards, it's sent by Calgary. Sharangovich cherry picking, but the pass couldn't get there in time for a breakaway as it was taken away by Gonsalves. The Bolts twisting one back into Calgary ice. Out of the far corner. Gonsalves trying to center for Hagel. Deflected from Sharangovich to Moser. Moser at the far point. This way it goes Cherdak. Long shot. Might have hit the arm there at Cooley. I think it might have been blocked by Whitecloud, though, in front. On the near side, the Lightning Sorelli hit hard there by Whitecloud. Puck came up the wall. Strome to center. Sent it across. Sharangovich tips it in. The Flames will change here in the final 8:05 of the third period. Here comes McDonough, Lightning down a goal, pass up the far left wing for Point into the Calgary end. To the far corner, he goes down to our right, trying to get it out from the trapezoid. It came to a flame as Oli Mato move it up the left wing. And now Gridden over the red line. Now the Blue Frost back to Gridden. He's in with a shot and a save made by Johansson in tight as Matvei Gridden was trying to get the Flames that fourth goal that they had taken away earlier. Behind the Tampa net now, pass up to Kucherov at their own blue line, gets to neutral. Pass to Radish now gets cut off by the Flames' Backlund. Poked off his blade, now at the Flames' blue line, it's grabbed by Point. Over it he goes, near wing Gensel. Up to the point for Radish, his log flip shot, punched in behind by Point on an awkward deflection. Came to the Flames' Brustevich, who sends it out the center. Onto the logo, it's Backlund. Left wing into the Tampa zone he goes, fluttering shot will roll towards Johansson. And he will just glove it and take a whistle with 7:13 to go in period 3. Still 3-2 Calgary here in the Saddle Dome. 7:13 remaining in the third period from Calgary, with the Flames still on top of the Tampa Bay Lightning by a score of 3-2. Tampa Bay took the lead at the 16:52 mark of the first period and haven't looked back, but Tampa's made a strong case to try and get this equalizer. But Devin Cooley, sensational in the blue paint for the Flames tonight. He's made so many good saves for Calgary in this one. Face off to Johansson's right. Going to be dug out by the Bolts here behind their own net. Chernak's without a stick. He can't come up with the puck, but still Tampa does. And they can't clear to the far point. It's snapped this way, Gridden. In the slot, Frost gets tangled up. Touch to Harley, though, at the back. Or Hanley, I should say. Across Parekh. Down low it goes, and a shot off the right pad of Johansson off the stick of Coronado. And now here's Tampa on the rebound. Here's Bjorkstrand up the right wing for Perry, who dumps it into Calgary ice. Behind the goal it goes, right near the trapezoid, down to our right. It's tied up, and the puck squirts free to Frost. Frost across for Coronado, touched it right back on the near side for Gridden, and Gridden will get it to neutralize for Frost, who got ran into on the near side by Lilleberg. As those two collide, puck comes now to Lilleberg on the near wing, and Tampa's out to center. At the logo, Gensel snapped it around. Under 6.5 to go in the third period. Shots 32-27 in favor of Tampa Bay. 29 saves in this one so far for the or I should say 30 saves. What am I saying? For the goaltender, Devin Cooley for Calgary, as he's been amazing in this one. Don't know if Jake's listening along, but I know he's made mention to me last couple of games, Calgary at home. Cooley's been awesome, and that has been the case. As now in transition, they come through center. Backlund over the line, left wing. Coleman a clapper and a save made by Johansson. Rebound to the near side. Goes to the corner, and now Tampa's going to end up with it as Moser will flip it back out through neutral. Glove down by Mata with under 5:40 to go in the third period. Oli Mata waiting his own end, played it straight ahead for Olofsson, who got the first Flame goal. Poke checked at the Tampa line by Cirelli. Now up the near wings, Kucherov patiently pulling up over the line. Pulled it up a little too far, though, as he couldn't get a good angle on that pass, but the Flames can't clear, as Strome gave it right back to Kucherov, who put it down low in the corner to our right. Around the goal to the far side it is. Trying to be grabbed at by White Cloud. He moved it up, won't get out. Grabbed by Hagel. Down low, Cirelli, driving to the net. A backhander couldn't get cleanly put on. His ball ran him out of the play. Sweep back to the far point. Here's Moser, a shot. Save Cooley. Back in behind it goes on the carom. Hagel let it ride to the right point. Radish gave it to Hagel. Now up to Radish. His shot deflected. Kucherov saved Cooley. Rebound to the near corner. Kucherov tied up. Spun it back to the point, though. Right side across Moser in the slot. Hagel bounced off his blade. Sharon Govich up the near side will clear. And Calgary will get at least 3 fresh legs on at the moment. 4:40 to go in the third period. Tampa down 3-2 here on the tail end of their 4-game road trip here through Canada, as they won 6-2 in Vancouver, 6-2 in Seattle, and 5-2 in Edmonton, as they're trying to come back here in Calgary to sweep the West Coast trip. We'll see if they can do it. Pass in front, and they score right on cue. Pontus Holmberg set up by Gord from behind the goal, and Tampa has tied it at 3. So Pontus Holmberg gets the tying goal. It's his 10th of the year as the Flames from their own end. Coleman couldn't move it out from his own zone. He got poke checked. The puck came in behind to Gord, and from the trapezoid swiftly threw it up top for Holmberg. And the Calgary defensemen, Hanley and Motto, had their backs turned, and Holmberg was able to stash it in past the blocker side of Devin Cooley. And Tampa Bay's found a way. We're tied at 3 here with 4:20 to go in the third period. The ensuing face-off back at center. It's Morgan Frost losing it to Yanni Gord as Tampa gets possession back. They seem determined to maybe want to win this game in regulation. The way Dastu peeled back, they seem kind of locked in all of a sudden. Not that they weren't before, but I feel like there's a sense of urgency in the way they're moving now that they got that tying goal, as they got it deep into Calgary ice. But that's as far as it'll go before it's steered back to neutral. And now Gensel blew it tired, turning in his own zone, but nobody was really around to challenge him, so he gets the puck safely to neutral. And at the logo, Radish will lug it in on the near side for Tampa. Chipped into the near side, down to our right. Brustevich for Calgary, got it to Mata. Now Gridden will move it up, and bouncing at the logo is that Biscuit. Came to the far wall in front of the Tampa bench. Strome will leave it in front of the penalty boxes for Ball. He's waiting for his Flames to change, so he just hammers one on in. Came on the far side. Out of the far corner, Strome for Sharangovich in the trapezoid. Sharangovich pinned in behind by Moser. Kucherov down on his knees trying to poke this puck free. It does get lodged to the far wall. Be played back behind by Strome. Strome behind for Sharangovich in the trapezoid. Bouncing puck came to the near wall. Kucherov. His backhander gets to center. And at the red line, Kevin Ball back for Olofsson. Olofsson for the Flames, galloping to the far wall. Can't get it cleanly onside, so now his teammate Whitecloud will snap it in. And the Flames will change, as will the Bolts. As we're under 3 minutes remaining here in period number 3. Tied at 3 here in the Saddle Dome. Tampa trying to sweep a West Coast road trip. Calgary trying to make it 3 wins in a row for them. As now back down to our right in the Calgary defensive zone. Here's Mata trying to move the puck up. He's been with Handley now on the back end, as well as Brustevich, as Ryan Huska seems to have Zane Perrette glued to the bench for this third period, as Calgary's Blake Coleman tries to cleanly get into Tampa ice. Doesn't, but got a little bit of help from Gergensons, but ultimately Tampa will take it back and send it down the ice. This won't go for icing as it's on net, so it'll be gloved by Cooley, and he'll hold it for a whistle with 2:19 remaining in the third. When we come back, the final moments of regulation, we'll see if there's a winner in it or if we'll head to 3-on-3 overtime. You're listening to Lightning and Flames live here on YouTube. Three our score here, just over 2 minutes remaining in the third period. Jaric Rubel with you, as Pontus Holmberg just got the equalizer for the Bolts a couple of minutes ago, as he got his 10th of the year. It's adding on to his career high in goals and points, as he and the Bolts have tied this game at 3. Holmberg got into his second career NHL fight as well yesterday, his first as a Bolt. If he gets an assist as well throughout the remainder of this game, that will match his career high of 12 set from last year. So he's set to get career highs in most of his categories, and funny enough, now the Tampa broadcast is talking about it themselves, so that always tells me I'm on the right direction with where I'm trying to steer my broadcast, so that's nice to see. As a face-off now to the left of Cooley is won by the Flames and tossed out the center. So on the reset, here comes Tampa, trying to win it in reg. Through center is Holmberg, but he's offsides. So a face-off will come back out here in neutral ice with 2:06 remaining in period number 3. Tampa Bay with 35 shots in this game. Logan Cooley, that guy's on Utah playing the LA Kings right now. Devin Cooley for the Calgary Flames, that guy who plays in goal, he stopped 32 of 35 shots that have come his way so far. Meanwhile, Johansson has stopped 25 of 28. If you're a Tampa Bay Lightning fan, can't complain at those numbers considering what he's brought to the table the last few starts. face off in front of the penalty boxes, won by the Bolts Yanni Gord. They're going to head off and change, so hidden back behind their own net will be Charlie Destu, as he'll leave it in the trapezoid and keep it himself, as it was a fake drive-by by Kucherov, as now it's shot straight ahead with some force off a skate, no icing into the Calgary zone, but Sharon Govich is on it first. Up ahead, he plays it, and now here's Ryan Strome in front of the penalty boxes, getting cut off by Moser. Lost possession, Cirelli snaps it back in. Cooley will stick it to the near wall, but it's right to Cirelli, and he's back behind the cage. It's Kucherov. Now I should say Hagel around back to the near wall. Radish trying to locate, but it bounced over him. Kucherov can't move it along, and now out to center. It's sent by Olofsson. The Flames will head to change. Final 80 seconds here in regulation time. Pass up the near wall intended for Hagel from the Bolts in their own zone. Didn't connect. No icing, though. So now here is a pass from Brustevich up the near wall for Farabee. That's tipped into Tampa Bay ice. Up the near wall, it's sent. Not out. Ball will keep it. Shot to the net. Deflected off his own man, Coleman. Didn't get out as it rolled to the blue line for Hanley to stash back deep. Behind the Tampa goal line in the final minutes. Free to Backlund. Popped in the air. Near circle. Hanley now looking for an option. Hanley parks in Gretzky's office in the trapezoid. Pressured by Holmberg, who nicely took him out of the play. And now Destu will get a puck on the near side and give space to Lilleberg, gives it back to him. And Tampa is able to withstand that Calgary pressure. And both teams will change here. Tampa's just kind of skating in their own end here, lollygag, and I think they're happy to just take this to overtime, as Destu's just sitting in the trapezoid, not moving this puck down to our left. Now he'll slowly skate it up ahead. Pass straight ahead, tipped in at the logo by Kucherov. Came to Cooley, shot it off the near side glass, out of play, but it was deflected, says the official. So no delay of game penalty there, but it will be an offensive zone draw coming up here for Tampa Bay. This could be critical. You can't doubt them to just fire this one correctly right on net and take a lead late in regulation. Now, John Cooper watches on, head coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning, as he was not happy with how the first period ended. The look on his face said it all, as he was very displeased with how his team just kind of collapsed in the final 10 minutes of that first and went down 2-1. And luckily for them, an offsides on a goal that made it 4-2 Calgary was taken away, and they were able to get the tying goal moments ago by Holmberg to get it tied at 3. So 18.2 on the clock, face off to the left of Cooley, tied at 3. Points for this draw for Tampa against Backlund for Calgary. Now Point wins it clean. Kucherov across. Radish one-timer. Blocked. Came to the near circle. Going to be grabbed by Whitecloud. Shot off the glass. This will go down into Tampa ice. Final 10 of regulation. Back to neutral ice it's sent. And that'll do it, as we're going to head to overtime here in Calgary between the Flames and the Lightning, tied at 3. In this cross-conference matchup of two teams who met in the Stanley Cup Final 22 years ago. So Ryan McDonough, Darren Radish opened the McDonough opened the scoring for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Darren Radish got the middle goal for the Bolts. Then Pontus Holmberg with the tying marker with the 3 goals for the Lightning. And then for the Flames, Olofsson got one, Frost got another, and Backlund got the 3rd. I'll be back in a minute, gonna take a sip of water, catch my breath, and we'll start overtime. we've reached overtime here in Calgary in this one between the Flames and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Jaric Rubel with you here live on my own personal YouTube channel. Ultimate Sports Media under construction for the next 7 days, unfortunately, as it's been a fun one here. Flames and Bolts, 3-3 your score. And in overtime this season, the Lightning are 9-4. The Flames are 5-7. As an extra point is primarily up for grabs here for Tampa Bay, as they're trying to get within, at the moment, 2 of Buffalo for first in the Atlantic Division. The Flames just want to play spoiler, as they won't be headed to the Stanley Cup playoffs. So attacking left to right are the Flames. It's Strome and Backlund, the forwards out there, against Point and Cirelli for the Bolts, who are attacking right to left. Kevin Ball, the defenseman out there for the Calgary Flames. Darren Radish for the Tampa Bay Lightning. So here's Kevin Ball as the Flames have possession. He left it at his own blue line. Across the logo goes Gritton. Gritton now on the near right wing, being watched nicely by Moser. Got his stick lifted, now stays with it, does Gritton. Centered it, Strome, a shot, he scores! Flames win in overtime as Ryan Strome gets the winner. 4-3, the final in the Saddle Dome. So Ryan Strome gets goal number 5 on the year, and shout out Matt Gritton for staying with that puck as J.J. Moser was all over him on the near corner, lifted his stick, thought he was coming up with a takeaway, but Matt Gritton stays with that play as he was able to withstand that defensive stick check by Moser, shook him off with one hand, and centered it for Strome, who was able to get it under the glove of Jonas Johansson. And the Flames play spoiler in this one and take the extra point away from the Bolts. So what a fun game this was here between these two teams, as Calgary gets the job done in overtime on goals by Victor Olofsson, his 13th of the year by Sharon Govich. Zach Whitecloud, the secondary assist down there. Morgan Frost, 17th of the year from Matt Coronado. And Mikael Backlund, his 16th of the year, the Flames captain, set up by Coleman and Brustevich. And then the overtime winner, Ryan Strome, set up by Matt Gritton. The Flames, 54 straight wins when scoring 4 goals or more. The goals for the Lightning, Ryan McDonough, set up by Gonsalves and Point. That's Point's 30th assist on the year, McDonough's 6th goal on the campaign. Darren Radish gets his 19th. He's one shy of 20, set up by Kucherov and J.J. Moser. And the tying goal, Pontus Holmberg, set up from behind the goal line by Yanni Gourde on a nice pass. And 4-3, the final in overtime, as the Flames get the job done here. So Tampa, 3-0-1 on their West Coast road trip. Meanwhile, the Flames, they're 3-0 on this homestand, taking care of the Blues, Panthers, and the Lightning, as this one has gone final. So thank you all for tuning in here on my own personal YouTube channel through all the turmoil that the USM page has dealt with, as I'll be live here yet again on Tuesday for a game in Pittsburgh between the Penguins and the Colorado Avalanche. As we get some people chiming in here in the chat. Robert says that was quick, nice broadcast, thank you. As Colin says, quick one and well done. That was a quick overtime, and Gritton was so happy, Jake, 100%. That guy made that play happen himself. Good work to just outmuscle J.J. Moser and get the game winner set up to Ryan Strome. But again, Avalanche and Penguins on Tuesday right here on this very channel. Sharks and Blues on Thursday as well on this very YouTube channel, as I'm not going to slow down bringing you these games as we push towards the Stanley Cup playoffs, which start on April 18th. So again, from Calgary, the Flames win it 4-3 over the Tampa Bay Lightning. Ryan Strome, the overtime winner. My name is Jaric Rubel. Thank you so much for spending your Sunday night with me for a very unflattering game on paper that I wouldn't think people would be too interested in, but I'm glad it turned out to be a good one between the Flames and the Lightning. I'll talk to you all on Tuesday from Pittsburgh for the next 48 hours. Take care, and I'll see you then.